I'm located in Oregon in the United States. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you so much. And we will get started here in just a few minutes. Oh, there we go. Let's make that just there. Oh, there we go. All right. So tonight we'll be using Summer Happiness. We'll be using both the stamps and just one of the dies. This bundle came out in the July 26 online exclusives, and it also has some washi tape that you can purchase outside of the bundle. Now I'm just keeping mine in a Ziploc bag so that it can stay nice and clean. We're not using this tonight. You could, but I'm not doing that. Hello, Tracy. Let me see if I can find my video. I think I waited long enough. It should pop right in there for me. Yay, it did. Thank you. Hello. All right. So we're going to make a card that I saw a sketch for. And we're going to do that with these because I'm trying something new out where we have Tuesday night lives on Facebook, and I'll just do regular projects. And then on Thursdays on YouTube, we'll use some hot foiling, at least in the short term, just so that anyone who is on the fence about the hot foil system knows exactly what it's all about. Okay, so we'll wait just another minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with my stamping, and I haven't plugged in my hot foil machine yet. That's going to take about 7 minutes, so let's get that done. I got to get my stuff. There we go. And we'll plug that in, and then if we need to stop and foil, we will. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these aside. We're going to be using the Thinking of You here. You could easily use the Happy Birthday on this card, or even a Get Well. Thank you. You could use anything, but we are going to start with this. And we've got some stamping to do and some coloring. So I'm going to start with a piece of grid paper here. And I'm going to put that grid paper down on my silicone mat, because the silicone mat, this little nifty item right here that you can find in my online store, holds paper really well in place, and that's what we're going to need. So we're going to start with some basic white cardstock, and surely I pulled myself a piece for that. I did right here. Okay, and we need the rounded rectangle punch. So we're going to take this, and I need 4 of these. So we're just going to punch those out of this piece of paper. Okay, and then we'll have this as a scrap for whatever else we need. Okay, so we're going to start with these little pieces, and what I'm going to do with these is I want to randomly stamp, but I want a pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some temporary adhesive, and I'm going to tack these down to my grid paper, and actually maybe I should go the other direction. There we go. Let's do that. So we'll put these on here, and I'm just going to tack those down, the temporary adhesive, and I'm going to do this right next to each other so that I have basically one piece of paper, but already cut in 4 chunks. Okay, So you, of course, if you wanted, could do this differently, but this is how I did it. You could stamp each one just individually. I just want to line this up there, right next to there, and that is close enough. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It will be a handmade card. So I'm going to start with the sunshine from the set. And I think I used Darling Duckling. I don't know. I'm going to use Crushed Curry. I'm going to use whatever I've got right here. And I'm going to take this sun and I'm going to put it up here in the left corner, like so. And then we're going to work the rest of our images around that. We're going to randomly stamp these images. I'm done with this sunshine. So let's go ahead, and the rest of these I'm going to stamp in basic black. I would use Secret C. However, if I use Secret C and then I color with my blends in lemon lolly, then I'll have green instead of what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put a flower there. I'm going to put another flower over here, and notice I'm stamping off. And then we're going to take some, well, I'm going to get these in because it's kind of big. So I want to get this in. And I'm going to put that up there. And then I'll put one down here. And then we'll take our camera and I'm going to put one there and maybe one here. And then we'll take our flippy flops. And I want these to show like this. So I'm going to do that. And I don't really have room for a lot left. And I'm not sure why I did that in the center, because we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with our sentiment now, because that's where I had my sentiment. Silly me. Okay, so now I'm going to take these little flowers, and these are actually from a retired set called Swirl Designs. But I would encourage you to go through your stash and find something that will go along with this. I actually was originally looking for just some small splatters, but I couldn't find what I was looking for, and I found this little piece already in my stash. So I'm going to use it. I like it. It goes really well with the set. And this set does have a little flower that I could have used. But if you take a look at this flower, it's one stamp, and I would have to stamp it in the same color. And I just have a problem stamping leaves and petals the same color. So I had to find something different. Okay, so this piece is complete for the stamping part. That's all we're going to do there. And now we're going to take our blends and we're going to color those. And they're not going to take too long. They're small pieces, and B, they just go really fast. So I'm just going to use some Daffodil Delight here on my little lemons and lemon seeds. And I'm going to color both of these at the same time. So that is done. And then I'm going to go back with my lemon lolly. And I'm using the light one here. And I used the dark Daffodil Delight. And so we're just going to quickly color this in. I'm using the brush tip, which makes it go faster for me. Okay, and then that will take care of that. And then we're going to go back with our dark flirty flamingo, and I'm going to color in the stripes on the straw. Okay, so there's that. And then while we've got this, we're going to take and flick in some dark flirty flamingo on our flower where the artist has some lines. Okay, and then we'll go back with the light flirty flamingo and fill that in. And we'll do that for both of them. Okay. And then I'm going to take the Dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to fill in those centers. For these little tiny flowers, I'm going to use Hydrangea Hue, and this is the light. Okay, and then for the other small flowers there, I'm going to take the Barely Blush Dark. And I'm going to fill in these. Okay, and that's all the little flowers. Then we're going to take some Light Pool Party and color in the flip-flops. Okay, we'll do a little bit of shading with the Dark Pool Party. And really, there's really just a little bit there. Okay, and then we'll finish this off with some Light Lost Lagoon for our camera. And you can see how quickly that went. Now, if you feel more comfortable with the tip, the brush tip, then you should do that. See, I think I want to do, I forgot to do this up here, to do that part. Okay, there we go. And that is the coloring complete. All right, thinking that our piece here is just about ready for the hot foil machine. So I'm going to go ahead and grab out the Classic Greetings hot foil dies. And with these, you get the hot foil dies, which are flat on the back and a kind of a dull color with just a little bit of a raised area, no cutting blades. And then you get these open dies, which are going to cut the greetings. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull out, maybe I'll make this one a happy birthday. Did you hear that? The machine just beeped. Yep, I think I'm going to make this one a happy birthday. So I'm going to take the happy birthday, and I'm going to put the, let me bring in the hot foil system. And then I'm going to put the happy birthday here. And I'm going to start that. Hi, ladies. And then we're going to grab some of the light pink hot foil. And I just have a small piece. Oop, I don't know if this one's going to fit this particular. Oop. You know what? I'm going to have to cut a different piece because I was using a different sentiment when I cut that. So let's fix that. I didn't think about how that was going to change the size. Oops! Should have thought about that before I put the hot foil dye on there. So I'm just going to take my trimmer here and I'll just trim off a piece, and then I know I've got what I need. I would be more careful with it if I had pre-cut it properly. Okay, now where did we do with the rest of that white paper that we have? Let me just grab a piece of white. I've got the fan going, and hopefully, oh, that's ready. I got to get moving here fast. I don't want to overheat my dye because if I do, then it might overfoil. So let me move some things here that are going to make things difficult for me. And we'll just cut this down. Then I'll have plenty. All right, now I should be good. Put this on here. And I'll put that on there. And then we'll grab our, you have to put the pretty side down on your pink, so your pink foil goes down on the die. And then we put the paper, the green shim, the white spacer. Then we unplug everything and we take this to our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is right next to me here. And we roll it through slowly, slowly. And then we'll bring it back in, take off our shims, pick up our hot foiling here, and then we've got a little magnetic die to pick that up and remove it, and I'll bring it over here and put it on the silicone mat and press that button to release it. Now we're done hot foiling, so I can put this away and let it cool, and I'm going to do that out of range there so I don't get burnt. Not that you would get burnt, but I don't want to stick my finger in it. Okay, so now comes the reveal part. We're just going to pull that off, and we have this beautiful sentiment all ready to go. Now we're going to save this. There's a reverse hot foiling plate coming in September that we'll be able to use that for. So I'm just keeping mine in an old Stampin' Up stamp case. I'm just putting all my little extra pieces right in there. And now we're going to take that sentiment that we have and we're going to put that on our platform. And we're going to take the cutting die and we're going to find the one that looks like Happy Birthday. And we'll put this on here like so, and it's going to line up perfectly. And then we'll put our top plate on. That'll stop moving on me. Okay. And then we'll just roll that through at regular speed. And then when we're done, we have a hot foiled and perfectly cut sentiment for our card. All right. So let's set that aside for just a minute. Let's bring these in. We're going to take these off of here. Try keeping them in the order so I don't have to put the puzzle piece together. And then we're going to bring in our card. So we've got a piece of the Everyday Essentials Mix and Match Designer Series paper. This is in the May to August catalog. And we are using this pattern. Okay, I love this pack of paper. And this piece is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And what I'm going to do with this first is I'm going to corner around 2 of these corners. And Stampin' Up! Doesn't have a corner rounder currently, so I'm just going to use this and just use what you have on hand. Although you actually could stick, if you're good, you could stick the corner of this paper into the corner of your rounded rectangle punch and clip those corners that way too. Okay, so now we're going to take these, and remember I've got temporary adhesive on these. That's going to help me out. So now I'm going to take these, and I want to try and get a mostly even border on 2 sides there, and then on the 2 sides here. So I'll set those down, and then we'll come down here and try to do the same thing. I'm going to stick this just a little bit further down. So I've got that bigger sentiment. So let's move this just a little bit. Got a little more space between them. Kind of like that. And then we'll do that, like that. And this kind of like this. Okay? And then when I'm happy with that, okay, that's going to be good. Then I'll take and pick this up. And I'll put these down for real. I'm not going to press them hard yet, just in case I need to use them. That's the thing with Stampin' Seal. It gives you a little bit of time that you can pick it up and move it. Need to bring that down 1. This paper kind of helps you a little bit because you can try and line those lines up. So let's do this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Come on, get over there where I want you. Kind of like that. And here's the last one. Now, of course, you don't have to use rectangles. You could use circles in this sketch or another label punch that is differently shaped. I'm going to move this over just a titch this way. and down just a tiny little bit. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to take my bone folder and burnish those down. And now I wouldn't want to take them out. Okay, come on, get out of the way so I can put that back. Thank you. Okay, there we go. So we've got that. And then we're going to take and add this to a piece of Lost Lagoon that I didn't cut. Silly me. Okay. So I wanted a very narrow border on this. So this is 3 3/4 by 5. So this piece is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So we'll just give that a quick trim. It's just a quarter sheet of cardstock I started with here. And I've got that. And then I'm going to round the corners on this as well, those same 2 corners. The upper right and the lower left. Of course, you could do whatever you wanted to do. Did I not cut that? Yeah, I did. I was like, wait a minute, did I not cut that correctly? But I did. Okay, so now we're just going to take some seal. It's a very narrow border. And we'll put that down. And then we can add this to our card base, which is Lemon Lolly. And this is standard A2, 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the center at 4 1/4. And we're just going to add this to our card base. Like so. And then before we put this on, I want to do the inside of my card because I think it'll be easier. But I am going to go ahead and put dimensionals on this so it's ready to go while I'm handling it. Might as well. And I'm using up what's left on my strip. And stick that down here like so. Okay, and then I've got a little piece that'll be perfect right there. And another little piece. I'm actually going to tear that. Put one there. And one there. And then we'll set that aside. Okay, and we'll come back to that in just a minute. And now my Stampin' Dimensionals are gone. Okay, so now we need to take one more thing, and I should have stamped this when we were stamping, but we're going to do it now for the inside piece. We're going to take the sunglasses and our black, and we'll stamp that. And then we're going to color those with the Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so let's start. I'm just going to start with the light, and then I'll fill in with the dark where I need to put shadows. Okay, so we've got that. Then we'll put in some shading here. Just a little bit. Okay. And then we'll go back and blend those together like so. And to finish these off, we're going to take our Wink of Stella. Because our sunglasses need to have bling. Okay. So we're just going to quickly put some Wink of Stella on there. Okay. And then there's a die for this right here, and that will cut those out. And when you do that, then you've got these cutie patootie little glasses. Now I took my white gel pen and got that ink going, and then covered those dark spots up there with the white, just to give them a little bit of definition there. Okay, so we've got that for our card. Now we're going to take this piece. This is a 1/2 inch by 2 inches, and I've scored it every 1/2 of an inch. So at 1/2, 1, and 1 1/2. And then we're just going to fold that like that. Okay. And we're going to bring in our card base. I took a piece of basic white. This is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8 inch. And then I took a strip that's a 1/2 inch by the 3 7. Well, actually, it was 4 inches, and I cut it down to fit because it's just the bottom piece off of this here. Okay, so 3 3/4. That's what that started out at, 3 3/4, and then I fixed it. Okay, so we're going to take our this piece here, and we're gonna. I didn't put a sentiment on the inside because, well, I should now because I did happy birthday. Hang on, let's get my silicone mat. I can go ahead and stamp a sentiment in here. Let's see what we've got. Let's find phrases and frames. I'm sure there's a sentiment in there that will work perfectly. Okay, well, I gotta, give me 1 second here. Sorry, I thought they were in my other thing. It's not. It's right here. Let's see what's in phrases and frames. Oh, have a fabulous day. Happiest birthday wishes. Let's just do that. And then this will be complete because I changed my mind on the sentiment at the last minute. So we'll go ahead and add this and get that finished. And then it'll be all ready because we don't want to stamp this. If I can, I want to stamp it now. Okay. And then I'm going to take I'm actually going to use Lost Lagoon ink here. And I'm going to bring this down where I can see it. And then we'll just pop this up at the top like so. All right. And you'll see why I did that here in just a moment. Okay, so now we can go ahead. See, silicone mats work for everything. Now I'm going to go, normally I don't put seal at the bottom of my inside piece, but I'm going to on this one. We're going to put this in here like so, and then we're going to take this piece and I'm going to put some liquid glue. I'm going to fold that in half. I'm going to put some liquid glue down here. Like that. And then I'm going to put this right up next to my fold line. Just being silly. Okay, so now I've got my, whoops, right up next to, but not over. So I don't want to glue my card closed. So make sure you don't have any excess glue there. Okay, and if you do, take your embossing buddy and get that off. Okay, and then we're going to fold that in half like that, and we're going to put more glue on this little section, and then we're going to close our card and give that a press. Okay, and then when we open it up, we have this little pop-up element, and we're going to take our little sunglasses, and I'm going to put a glue dot on the bow of the glass there, and I'm going to put another one here, and then I'll put another one down here, like that. So I've kind of got 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm just going to take and, oh, I guess I don't want it on the bow. I think I did that before. Oh, you know what? Because I'm doing it the dumb way. Don't do it like me. I did the same thing when I designed this card in the first place. I'm going to pull those glue dots with my take your pick tool. Okay, and I'm actually going to put those on my pop-up piece, and that way I know I've got everything right where I need it. So you should do this the first time so you don't have to pick it off like I did. And then when we put these on, then those glue dots are right where we need them. Okay, and I'll just give that a good press, fold that, and when we open our card, our sunglasses will pop out. Okay, all right, now all we need to do is add our sentiment to the front. Those images are quick. I really liked putting this card together. I love this little Summer Happiness bundle. It's just so cute, and the images color so quickly, and they lend themselves to random stamping so nicely. Okay, so let's go ahead now and add our sentiment to the front. And yep, I'm just going to do, you know what, I'm going to do it just like this. There we go. Okay, and now we'll add a couple of embellishments, and this card will be finished. So I thought I would bring in the array of dots. These are Flirty Flamingo, Lemon Lolly, Pool Party, and Pretty Peacock. So there's 3 colors that we used. Plus the Pretty Peacock will go really quite nicely with our Lost Lagoon. So actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, I'll put one up here, and then there's 3 sizes, so I'm going to do one of each, and then I'll put one down there. Yeah, I don't like where that one's at. Let me move this one. Oops. Good thing I hadn't pressed that down yet. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to bring that out here, actually. There we go. I'm happier with that. Okay. Now I'll take that, put my cap on, give those a good press to burnish down that adhesive. And there is our card for tonight. using the Summer Happiness and some foiled sentiment. I hope you like that. And then, of course, no naked envelopes. So I stamped the flower, the lemonade, and that little batch of flowers. And on the back, I put a nice sunshine. And there is the perfect birthday card for a summer birthday. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you so much. All of the supplies that I've used today can be found in my online store, and you'll find a description or you'll find a link in the description of this video once it is posted for good. Okay, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that notification bell so you know every time I go live, and share with your crafty friends. I'll see you soon. Good night. A dozen cards. That's good, Tracy. Okay.